What, me? Write articles, blog, send out a newsletter every month to my members? But I haven't got anything to say.
And that is the topic of this week's episode of Ask Emma and Tim. Welcome to Ask Emma and Tim, the show for British advice professionals who want to break the time for money trap.
You know, this issue of I feel I've got nothing to say is something that we come up against time and time and time again. And really there are two elements to it. The first is I feel I've got nothing to say because I'm just a rather dull, boring old fart who's sitting here and I really don't know why anybody would bother to listen. Well, that's not true for everyone, obviously. And the second issue is to do with where do I find the content? I just don't know how I'm going to keep the beast fed. How am I going to keep information flowing into the pipeline down to the people I want to communicate with on a regular basis? And it is a big issue, isn't it?
Well, it can be. And so as far as the first thing is concerned, I think we've got to really believe in our message. And if you've really got something important to say, then you should never be worried about sharing it with people. You just need to be yourself and you need to believe your message. And as soon as you've got that, then you will get over the fact that you think you haven't got anything to say. So the second thing is, where do I actually find content? How do I get my inspiration to write stuff that I can put out every week? Well, I'm going to go to the flip chart now and give you 7 ideas of where to find your content. So even if you feel like you have nothing to say, there's masses you can say. And here are some examples of ways of creating your own content around things that are pertinent to your business. So the first thing is time-sensitive information. And what I mean by that is things that are in the news or event-based things. So for example, at the minute, everybody's madly writing articles about The Apprentice. Every other blogger is writing about The Apprentice. And Tim and I have blogged about the Bake Off, for example, because we love it. And there were other things. Last year we blogged about the Olympics a lot. There's always political things that you can use to take the focus away from that particular event and to put your spin on it. So that's a really useful way of getting content out there. The second thing is research. Now, people love research. We love reading research that will help us in our businesses, but we sure as hell don't like finding research. So if you can find research pertinent to your business and give it to your clients as content, they will really love you for that. So the third thing is examples. Particularly before and after examples are brilliant. So here were some of my clients before I worked with them. Here is what they're doing after I've worked with them. People love real life examples so that they can actually really get what you're doing. And it starts to take on much more meaning for them if they can see what other people are doing and have done with you. The fourth thing is a very obvious thing. Put out how-to content. And it could be very, very small pieces of information. How to fill in the blanks. And people really love how-to information. There's far too much information that is just telling you what to do, not how to do it. So we love to be given small nuggets of how to do something. The fifth thing is your recommendations. Now, say you come across a new piece of software that really helps you. For example, Tim and I just came across a really great piece of software for sharing projects-based things with our team called asana.com. I'll write that down in a minute. And it's been really brilliant and it's free. So that would be a really useful thing for you to share with your clients. The sixth thing is frequently asked questions. All you have to do is think through what are the most asked questions that people ask us. And you can, each one of those questions becomes a blog post in and of itself. So that's an easy way to generate content. Now, the seventh thing, I've put that there. It's not contentious because I use other people's articles as inspiration. And I do a lot of reading so that I can it sparks off your creative processes and your thoughts about, well, how can I maybe use a similar subject to that, or how can I write about that? How would my customers think about that information? So it's really important. The more reading and watching of other people's videos do, the more inspired you'll be to create your own stuff. Obviously, do not copy other people's stuff. You need to reinterpret it, put out your own content. And there are other ways of getting hold of content on a daily basis that means that actually you know where to even find those other people's articles. So I just want to share that with you before we end. And that is Google Alerts. All you need to do is Google Alerts and Google social mention, and you will find it. Then you put in a search term that you want to hear about. And the great thing about those is that not only will you get lots of notices about people's articles about that thing, what you'll also learn is who are the key influencers that are perhaps in your niche too, that you want to be emulating, that you want to be commenting on, that you want to be putting yourself up there with. So I hope you found that useful, and if you have, I'd really love it if you could press like and share it with anybody else that you think would benefit. And we'd also really love to hear from you about maybe your ways of generating content and keeping in touch with your client base. So please leave your comments below, and we'll see you next time. If you're ready to break the time for money trap, visit www.ipacademy.co.uk and sign up for a month's free membership of our Information Product Academy.
And when you do, you'll get immediate access to all the recordings and transcripts from our recent masterclass series, where we interviewed 10 internationally famous information experts who shared their best content with us.